righty. Hello, everybody. How are you tonight? It is only, I've only got 2 weeks left. This shit's getting real. It's time to get into real gear. So I hope everybody is having a very good Tuesday. Jumping right in, I got started while I was getting stuff set up here. Been kind of a mess here today. Well, it's been a mess here for a while. We've got construction going on. We're moving stuff around. We're moving stuff to other building. Trying to get the studio ready for the show. There's just not enough time in a day. I hope everybody else is having a productive day. I mean, I had a productive day, but it's been a long. So I am finishing up my plaza for the desert board. I know I've worked on it a little bit before. The one that I was working on, I decided that I didn't like it with the way it was turning out. So I went back and redid it. It's still the basic same shape. I made the tiles here that I cut out of pink foam, the same size as the pedestals for the statues that are going to go in the middle. That way they kind of look, it just looked a lot better, getting them kind of together in the same shape, same size. So so that's what I did. So it was easier just to redo it than to try to peel the old one. So that's where it's at. I got all the pillars done. As you can see, they're all there. My Egyptian ones instead of my old Roman ones that I had on the original one. So now it's us getting real. Time is not my friend right now. I'm going to get all these so tonight I've got these to get a good wash on. They'll dry, and then I'll dry brush these, and then glue. The statues and everything are already done. So once I've got those done, I'll get those all in, and then we'll show you all that. But we want everything to be ready for the show, so looking for some cool battles to be had here. Hopefully anybody saying anything, so I guess you can hear me okay, I hope. I would assume at this point, if you can hear me, somebody would have said, hey, we can't hear you. So that's where I'm at on that. So I've got these to put the wash on. I'm also I know that I'd worked earlier on the water, the stuff. I got ahead of myself and didn't have them sealed when we did them last time. So I got really bad warping. So it was easier again just to go back and recut them and get the stuff in them. So they're all painted up and they're done. So I'm going to get these washed tonight so I can dry brush them tomorrow and then be ready to get the water. And that'll have our water features for our board done. I had new doors put into my building here, and the guys that were working on it, a little messy. I've got dust on everything. Trying to work around that. Oh, crazy. But we will be ready. have no fear. Should have swag packages and the new minis and stuff, hopefully up one day next week. Earlier the better. So hang in there. They're coming. We're just trying to get everything in and ready, and so they can all go up at one time rather than parts at a time, and then we'll get mad because they couldn't order it. We don't want that. But we'll get there. It's coming. Hand read. No, not technically, kinda, because the upstairs door is replaced, so you can actually go in and out that door now, and the outside stairs have a hand. So if you feel like you need to use the outside stairs, then you certainly can. We are working on what we can. Understand why I keep different color. Out kind of light reddish brown. Oh. Well, what James is alluding to is we have an upstairs, and when this building was built, the inside stairwell, they're really tall stairs, so that they didn't get used a whole lot of the floor space up. So they are steep as stairs go, and there is no handrail stairs. And I don't notice it as much because I have such, so it's take them in stride. But James does not. So he's overly cautious. It's on my list. I'm actually going to do it. But it's like I always tell him, I make him go up first, catch him. It's all good. These little weird crevices. But you got to put it all together before you do it to make it blend together and look. I get you. I feel you. But you know I wouldn't let anything happen to you, James. Come on. All right, let's see where a bushel go. We'll all work it. Hopefully everybody is working on their Paint Expo entries, exhibits. Other I've got to get what I've got put up. List here. I should have those up this. I've got today and tomorrow is all for, we're getting the last of our stuff in for our dual cast system, so I've got to get the last of the shop ready for that. And that's on that agenda. And then I have to go to Missouri on Friday to pick up all the MDF board stuff that we have to have for be able to laser cut Badger. That's going to take up Friday. And the weekend going and then going on all CAVCon. No, Mike is not above me. Is this better? Mike is right here in front of me. I think it's I'm thinking and doing stuff at the same time. Sorry. Okay. I think it got moved away from me a little bit. All righty. I'm bad about, no, it's not a table mic. I've just got it scooted down closer. Same mic. I just have it done different instead of above me. But when I'm working on something sometimes and thinking at the same time, I don't modulate myself as well as I should. I apologize. Get into weird shapes sometimes so I can reach everything. While getting around everything. Right there. All right. Get all this on, and then it can be set aside to dry. And I'm still using my acrylic based stains that I got. Been using for my washes. I've been super happy with them. So I do water them down just a little bit, but other than that, it's good stuff. For some reason, my sand is coming up a little bit. It had a good coat of paint on it. Maybe I didn't have it as much paint on it as I thought. But that's all right. It's all be fixed. Really excited to see how this one's going to turn out when it's all done. I always liked the old one. There was some change for it that for the better. And I think this one will be a little better playing on too. A little more room to fight in the plaza. Do, 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 do. Little spots. Just can't reach without myself into a pretzel. Lots of it, of course. I think all those get it this way. Shut up. Not tearing everything up and breaking it. I hope. Just should be glued okay. I used Gorilla Glue and it's cured for 2 days. I think we have a pretty good bond. Touch my sand because apparently it's activating a little bit, which is no biggie once it dries again. Well, I keep missing spots like that. All right, I think got her. Just all right. I think that gets our stain on everything. Hope. Okay. That one's, I believe, good to go. I got 2 or 3 little spots where my sand reactivated, but it'll be all right because I've got some little rocks and bushes and stuff I was going to put on here. That will kind of dictate where those go. All right, so there's that. All right, so let me get the let's see to move. I can get back out. Hey, all right. Try that. Ooh. All right. But once I get all this washed and dry brushed and everything like that, then I'm going to come back and put the water in. So that I got ahead of myself with the other ones when I was trying to kind of show some different things. And I made it harder on me in the long run to do what I wanted to do. So I just decided to start over. And get it done right. As my father used to explain to me all the time, if you're going to do something half-assed, you might as well not do it at all. To be right. All right. And then this was one of the pieces out of one of the waters that I cut there. So I just thought it was kind of a cool shape, so I went ahead and sanded it. I'm going to use it for a tree base or something. I did get all the other bases and stuff. They're all done, and I got almost all of the palm trees done. I always try to use the right tool, but good. Putting washes on it. Especially when I'm kind of working in a confined space like this. Normally I spread this all on my work table downstairs and stand and move around and do it all at once. But no problem. Okay. Let's wash on it. All right, so that's it for the washing tonight. And then now I've got, all right, up here and dripping it everywhere. All right, so this is my base paint that I use for my cliff sides and everything. So I've got more hills built I got those all. I've got them all put together and sanded. Um, I got the base sprayed on them. Now I've got to go back and touch up the sides of the cliffs here, whatever. I don't know if cliffs or edges, so that I can finish doing the dry brushing. So I got to go through and do all these right quick. So it's kind of a pain in the butt process because I paint these all this color to begin with. And then I put the sand on it, and then I got to go back and put this on because to spray the base coat that I use, the styrofoam needs to be sealed up or it'll get eaten up. So that's the reason I have to go back and redo it second time. It's usually I don't have so many pieces, so it's not that big a deal, but with the number of pieces that I've got going, it's a bigger deal, but that's okay. You will make it work. I think I'm going to go to a little. Not getting the returns. I doubt it. So let's see here. I think this is a little smaller, but it had a little better control over it, and I can go a little fast. Fighting. Trying to paint stuff that but these all, we'll get this on, and then they'll be ready to be washed, dry brushed, and held out, and then they'll be done. What happens when you live in the middle of nowhere, like a gamer desert? Have anybody close that even knows what I do that would be able to help? So that's all. Or help and be able to just show up whenever. But that's okay. Got its drawbacks and it's got its pluses too. It kind of looks like we're going to have a little bit of a convention season towards the end of the year. I think, I know that we're not going to try to do any shows before July. I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to get the vaccine. So Reaper has announced their show is going to go ahead in September, and we should be attending that. I don't know what we'll be doing there yet. But we'll probably be there and do something. I'm seriously considering go to NashCon. And there's a couple of others that we're looking at. So maybe we will be in your area. Loose. Paint on that. No. Some of these have got quite a few little rocks on them. Let me for that too. Thing and then the other. Just worry about the edges for now. Part of the what will help, and so, and you know, if you've got a convention in your area and you want us to, you know, either reach out to them, tell them to give us a holler, or um, drop me an email or something and let me know, and we can look at it. The main thing that we're looking at that point is I don't want to go to any shows that are still restricting themselves. So, you know, if they're cutting their crowd down to 25% or something like that, it's just not worth our time to go to those shows. So that's where I'm hoping that by waiting till the after July, when supposedly everybody that's wants the vaccine will have the vaccine, according to government, that maybe we won't have to have crowds cut down. I like going to shows with at least 500 people. That's our other criteria. It just doesn't make it to go. It's funny. I mean, of course, I've been doing this for a long time, but I mean, I can pretty much tell you within $500 how much we'll do at a show based on how many people are there. When you figure in travel and hotel and food and everything, that's, we're at least trying to pay for those. I don't really go to them as far as trying to make a killing out of them, but you know, and I look at it more as promotion, especially when it's a true gaming show. But like I said, I have to be realistic. But we should be back in the saddle big time next year. So we have that to look. I went to NashCon in 2019, and it's a good show. I enjoyed it. Part of the country that I haven't gone to a whole, especially for me to drive there from Kansas was kind of a weird way to go. I went some crazy places on my way there. Well, and here's part of the problem with the Reaper show. Um, they had made a conscious effort 3 or 4 years ago to kind of move more into games. And they've so we really got behind that and have been real strong on that and started doing our CAVCons there, and but they're kind of moving away from that again and getting more into the hobby and the paint side of things, and that just is really not our crowd. um, we get a good showing from the people in the area, so that part works out good. um, Sales are pretty good because we get a lot of people that are buying stuff that for whatever. They like to buy stuff and they're for different things. So that side of it, it's hard to try to put in that much work when we don't have the gaming crowd that I would really want to. So that's going to kind of uh, change a little bit how we do. Now, Ed and I have talked about, maybe doing a separate convention down there that is strictly more gaming, and that would be great. I would do a bigger show, here like in the Wichita area, but and I mean we have a lot of towns around here to pull out of, but it just it, with everything else that's going on, I just don't have time to show. I used to do the main gaming convention in Dallas, and oh god, it was the amount of time and effort that it took for that to do those shows was nuts, crazy nuts, and it would take me about 2 weeks to get over it, and that's when I was young. Wouldn't even know what it would do to me anymore. When you're making these, it seemed like such a good idea to have all these turns and edges, and they don't. It doesn't seem as cool when you're having to paint it. My, how time is flying. Anybody have any questions that they want to shoot out there that I can answer while I'm painting? And do both. Oh, sorry, I dragged it back to me, got out from under the camera. I'm getting ready to redo my rig too. That's part of, I've got a new setup that I'm working on for the show so that we can show off the game board and stuff a lot easier this time. Um, and I think that'll convert over to a better display later on for doing terrain and stuff on. I'm gonna have to start thinking ahead what I'm gonna do after the desert board is done. Maybe we'll take a poll, see what something that somebody would like to see me build. maybe spend a show or two putting the badger together so that people will have a. I don't think that I'm going to have the instructions done and ready to load up by the time the badger goes on sale. Like I said, a lot of it's pretty common sense, but if I can go in and do a show where everybody can follow along, that would probably help too. Anyway. Yeah, after the CAVCon is out of the way, cast calves and dual cast. Yeah, that's going to be a busy, going to make for a busy April. It will be nice when I can bring some people in to help again here too. Work be awesome. But I do not want to risk getting me sick or somebody coming out here and getting sick and then doing me. My cup of tea. All right, let's rocks. Yeah, our last delivery is supposed to be here Monday, so that's kind of why I'm trying to get the last stuff out of the way for all of it, because we basically have cleaned out the back third of the shop for where the dual cast system and everything that's going to go with for it. So it's been a do 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 do. Old acrylic paint always likes to dry out on you. One of the reasons we love it, one of the reasons we hate it. This one had a lot of rocks on it. Who was thinking that? Who thought about putting all these rocks on here? Damn it. But I think the world is coming back to life. We're actually getting retailer orders again, which is a good thing. We had a new retailer up in the Chicago area pick up the line. So if you're in the Chicago area, you probably know where Gronard Games is. So they are fully stocking the Cav line. Water here, maybe to get some paint going here again. And help finish off the night here. Don't need it to be awesome, just enough to make the rocks a little different color than the sand. All right, now we're cooking. Is cooking. But when this is all done, I'm going to have more desert terrain than I know what to do with. But this way we can, during the show, we can set up whatever configuration we want. We'll be good to go. All right, I think that. Side. All right, and then we've got do one of these here while I've got it too. Got all the big hill pieces that have to be done still. But so I've got to paint the edges on those so that I can spray the base coat on them so I can come back and paint the edges again. But these are single ones, so they go pretty fast. They're not nearly as bad as when you're trying to fight around all the different levels. But if I don't seal them up, when I spray that light color on there, it I guess at some point I need to see if I can color match that. Just get it in an acrylic paint, but it'd be too easy. It's that light tan color that you can get, that Krylon camouflage color paint. And it's just, I love it. It's just the perfect color for desert. And it's nice and flat. But these are for building our bigger hills and stuff during the game. So these are kind of just the bottoms. And sometimes I can, especially like these, I can kind of not go all the way to the sides, so it's not nearly as much to go back and fix when they're just flat pieces like this. The main problem up here in the studio is just not enough room to spread out. we'll do a couple pieces each, and that way you can kind of see what I'm doing, and then next week I'll be doing the finishing touches on some pieces and trying to get, I've got an idea for a little settlement that I want to build too. That would be kind of fun to fight around. That I'm hoping to get to. Shall see. That's the only piece that I have actually started on. The pyramid base and everything is all done. Like I said, all the other stuff's done. They said just seems like there's a bunch, but there's because like I said, this stuff goes fast and is some of these are being repurposed from some older stuff that has got tore up or stained, so or stuff spilled on it. So I just went in and cut off the old stuff and repurposed them for my desert. All right, guys, we're getting to the witching hour, so speak now or forever hold your peace. If not, you won't see me again till tomorrow night, me and James. And then James and crew have Big Stompy Robot this Thursday night, I believe. So, don't know what they're talking about, but I will find out the same time you guys do. I'll make sure I'm on there to watch it. You never know with those guys, what rabbit hole they're going to go down next. I know it's Big Stompy Podcast, but I'll call it whatever I want. Tomato, tomato. Like sometimes it's Terrain Tuesday and sometimes it's Tuesday Terrain. Depends if I'm thinking at the time. All right, so that's how that'll get all of our big pieces together, like so. All right, what can we finish? What do we have here that we can finish in? This got some mesas here. Go over. Kind of see this kind of piece. Talking about hobby struggles. That is and it gets worse every year. As you get older and more responsibilities, your hobby becomes more. Sure. Or the sand is not. quick before I switch. Kind of some big areas here. Luckily, you don't have to be super perfect with this because the wash is going to go on here and that will soak into a lot of spots. Switch here. And it doesn't, it's not like it has to be just from the standpoint of like it's a competition or anything. I just try to make it look as good as I can. Got. Way down. Places I got a little crazy with the sand. The edges were kind of small here in times. That's all right. It'll all paint in. Is more texture. I'm going to get this one finished, so we'll probably run a little over. And then I'm going to call it a night. Because A, I'm tired, long day, and B, it's Taco Tuesday. Can't miss that. That's a hobby struggle. Out of here to go have tacos. But I'm a big fan of daylight savings time. So they would just leave it on. So got that now. So it's not getting dark as soon, which is good for me because it's like I'm not a big dark fan. All right. I think I've wore everybody out. They're dropping like flies, Mildred. Well, I'm here for you guys. If you got something you want to ask, great. If not, you can just watch me paint. Well, how cool that is, but I guess better than nothing. Hear me rambling. I don't know why you're shouting at me. I can hear you fine. Which faction is the most massive in physical terms? I don't know. I would think that probably I don't know because they're different sizes, they're different, different things. Obviously, the A and E's are going to have a lot of stuff because of just their, multiple nations and stuff like that. I would think the Rock, with all their clans and so much combat and stuff, that they are going to be pretty large. Obviously, the largest space fleet in known space are the Ritter. So probably a lot of different measuring sticks there. I mean, if you take into account, I mean, got Templars and Terrans, that are all humans, if they're all fighting together, they're going to be pretty massive. Well, they're 32 millimeter scale, but yeah. Oh, you're talking massive in physical terms as far as the actual people, not force wise. I would say probably as an overall, uh, it's going to be the Rock. They're bulky and tall. Um, the Malvernans are, they're not midgets, um, but they are the shorter group, and they tend to be, but they're very, very, very wide. Very, I mean, think dwarves. I don't think they're that short, but that kind of build. They're come from a high gravity world. They're miners. All right, there's that piece. So we're clipping away. And then you're going to have, I mean, for the power armor, I mean, those are all larger than normal people anyway. So you'll have that's kind of an equal thing there. When everybody's in power armor, they're kind of on a more same scale, same size. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to not make you sit here and watch me clean up my mess. So we will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. James and I will be talking about Capcom. So, or anything else that people want to bring up while we're there. If there's something in particular you want me to for us to cover tomorrow night, always email me or say something on Facebook or whatever, so that and kind of get ahead of it. Yeah, got to get to my tacos. Kind of my go-to meal for the week. Other than that, you guys have a good night. Thanks for showing up. And I'll be back tomorrow night. Same time, same back channel, same back place. Good night, guys.